YouTube channel. My YouTube channel? Yeah, my YouTube channel. I'm just so shocked about how it's my YouTube channel, considering we hit 830 subscribers, which is exciting. So today I thought I would do another video on hair tutorials because the last one did so well. The last one was the worst video I've ever made because it kept getting taken down for copyright, and now it's got no sound to it. It's got 18,000 views. So I was like, you know what? We're going to kind of redo this, but switch it up a little bit. So I'm going to teach you guys how to pin curl, how to pageant style hair. And yeah, but I'm not going to talk during this video. I'm just going to do a voiceover because that will save so much time. But just quickly, what you guys are going to need is a hairband, which I need to go grab. You're going to need some of these alligator clips, kind of like the medium-sized ones that are like that big. And you're going to need your curling wand. This is the GHD curling wand that I bought a few years ago. So those are the things you're going to need. And if you have hair extensions, obviously put your hair extensions in. My hair is quite thick and long at the moment, so I'm not going to do that. And we're just going to get straight into it. Hey, to start off with, I don't know if you can hear the chainsaw going in the background, but if you do, just excuse that. I like to horizontally section my hair, so starting with the bottom, you can probably tell that my hairline is not perfectly straight, and it doesn't have to be, just as close as possible. Brushing out those knots, it's so important to brush your hair, because if you try to curl your hair with knots, it just does not work. I like to curl backwards, only because if you curl forwards, it looks very unnatural, and we're trying to go for that windswept, pretty look, so all your curls should be going in a backwards motion. When it comes to taking pieces of hair to curl with, depending on your hair length and your thickness and the barrel size of your wand will depend on what sizes you should take, pretty much. I do about medium pieces just because that works for me, but again, if your hair is shorter and you have a smaller barrel, you might want to take thinner pieces. If your hair is longer and you've got a really thick barrel, then obviously you can take larger pieces. And when it comes to pin curling, I like to pin curl underneath, if that makes any sense. I like to pin curl in the way I want my hair to flow. So pin curling underneath will help kind of set that curl in the way that I want it to go as well when I take it out. And when I first curl my hair, I always catch that curl in my hand because when it's still hot, I want it to remain in that curl. And if you let it drop for too long without letting it set, then it might come out. So yeah, catching it in my hand and then pin curling it straight away. We're now onto the second layer of my head, and I'm going to start at the back of my head just because the front is quite frizzy, and I'm going to show you guys how I like to get rid of that. But again, curling backwards, all my curls will be going in the exact same way. And I'll show you how I like to catch it in my hand, what I was talking about before. So yeah, catching that straight in my hand and then curling that pin curl underneath, just like so. I'm getting tired from doing this. Yep, and then pinning that in. I only use one alligator clip per curl. You can use two if your hair's a bit thicker or longer. And then going on to the next section. So it's really easy once you get used to it, but obviously it could take some time to learn. And doing it on yourself is always quite tricky because you have to try to look at the back of your head in another mirror, unless you're really talented, which I know a lot of people who are. That did not work. Take two on that curl. It finally worked. Again, pinning that underneath so it kind of flows in that backwards motion like we want our curls to do. I'm going to jump straight forward to the front of my hair. So if you can tell, I'm using that barrel to kind of straighten out my frizz. You can also do this with a straightener, but if your barrel doesn't have a clasp like mine does, you can always just do this and just rub that barrel on the front, and that'll help flatten it out. And yeah, it just reduces that frizziness so much. So I'm going to curl that piece now. You probably can see I'm curling it upwards. I do that so I can get closer to the root of my hair. And then again, I just like to pin it underneath, pin it in that same direction that the rest of them are pinned in. And yeah, I just think it's going to end up really good, guys. I can't wait for you to see the end product. We're almost finished. We just have the top part to go, but you can tell these pin curls are looking nice and neat as possible as I can get them anyways, and all flowing in the same direction, which is exactly what we want. Now going onto the top part, you want to part your hair first and then do your curls around that part. So I'm doing a middle part and then I'll style my curls around that. If you're wanting a side part, do a side part in your hair first and then start curling, because this will help the curls go in all one direction and the direction that you want your hair to be styled in as well. It saves a lot of recurling, that's for sure.
So I'm really big on sectioning. I just believe it makes life so much easier. So with this side piece here, I'm going to split it into two and kind of have a back piece and a front piece. Starting with the back, because the back is always hardest to do. Of course, brushing those knots out again, it's always important, guys. Getting those medium-sized pieces and then start curling those backwards again. This could be a bit tricky at first. Even I still struggle with it sometimes. You will get the hang of it, but it might take some practice. Unless you're just really good with a curling one, then you'll be fine as well. Curling that piece, and when I move on to my pin curling, which should be in a second, you'll see that I pin curl the curl underneath, so it's kind of sitting upwards. Why I do that is because, you can tell here, why I do that is because when you're going to tease it, it already has a bit of volume there, so you're just adding a bit of volume without the teasing. If you place that curl the other way around, that curl is going to sit flatter on the back of your head, so it's just a little trick to add to your curling routine if you want that bit of volume as well. I'm doing that with this whole back section pretty much. So you want more volume in the back. So I'll show you in a close-up what I mean by that. Again, dropping that curl out and curling it up so it sits upwards. You guys get what I mean? Just to create that bit of extra volume. Moving on to the front part of my hair, this part's super easy. You just want to curl those backwards so they'll flow nicely on the front of your face. This part's just all about framing your face, so you don't want to create volume, you just want to do more styling if anything. Yeah, this is probably the easiest part to do, my favorite part, because it means we're almost finished as well. And how I pin these are pretty much the exact same way, just upwards a little bit, kind of to the side, so when I drop that curl out, it'll be more of a side curl instead of a more voluminous curl. So we're pretty much coming to the end of this tutorial, but I just wanted to show you guys how I like to pin curl my hair, especially during pageant week, because it's great to sleep in them and have those curls already set for the morning. It saves a lot of time doing it the night before. It is time consuming, but it's so worth it. And I hope this tutorial was helpful, but I'm going to start talking again. So thanks, guys.
All right, we are officially all done. Yes, I know, I'm looking fabulous. This is what the back of it looks like. It might not be absolutely the neatest, but it's not about how neat it is. It just matters if the curls are good. Also, so now it's probably about the time where you can fix up some of these curls that you think might drop, fix up some of the pins. I would recommend leaving these pin curls in for about 15 minutes at absolute minimum. You can leave them in all night as well. I'm only going to leave them in for about 15 minutes purely because I don't need to leave them in for any longer than that. A nice little I got like hair up my nose. A nice little trick to use as well is that you can always put a shower cap over all the curls, and that will kind of help keep the heat in. Otherwise, another great thing to do is that you can actually get hair nets as well that do a wonderful job. I'm not 100% sure where you can get them. That's why I only use shower caps. But yes, I'm going to leave this in for about 15 minutes, and then I'll come back and I'll teach you guys on how I like to style my hair, how to fix the curls that didn't curl properly, and yeah, all the rest. Alright, so we're back now. 15 minutes later, I'm going to quickly take out all these pin curls starting from the bottom. Okay, I'm back and I'm looking a little crazy at the moment. I know some of the curls didn't turn out too nicely. Some of them got pulled out when I was pulling out the clips, which is completely fine as well, guys. Like, it's so easy to recurl these curls. At least a majority of it is all curled, and usually when you tip and usually when you brush these curls out, they all flow really nicely as well. Okay, so usually for teasing, I have a teasing comb that I cannot find at the moment, so I'm literally going to be using the smaller edge of this comb right here. But for now, all I'm literally going to do to brush out these curls is tip my hair over like this and just brush through with my fingers. That's all I'm going to do. Make sure to get the back as well. Alright, now this is a good time to hairspray. Front and back. And your hair is going to look a little crazy again because, you know, it's just gotten hair sprayed upside down. Oh, we still got a pin curl in. Always forget some. All right, checking your hair to make sure there's none left. Awesome. All right, now I look like I belong in the 80s, but this is like great 80s pageant hair, you know? So finding that middle part. Awesome. So I'm going to quickly just focus on this side of my hair. So taking the wider end of my comb now, I'm just literally going to just brush through. Now to add some volume, we're going to do this section by section. So starting with the underneath of the fringe, taking the smaller end of that comb again and just teasing it down. Now I don't want too much volume, I really just want to do like a natural, like glamorous type of look, nothing like over the top, nothing too extravagant. It's just all about styling that through. See how that just adds like a bit of height. And just grabbing your fingers and just letting that everything softly flow again. And then spraying it, of course. And that is that one side complete. So I'm going to do the exact same to the other side. So thick end again, sorry. Just slowly brushing through those curls without brushing them out too much. Alright, now we're going to take my fringe again. Hairspray underneath that root, taking the thin end of the comb and just teasing that down. Not too much, nothing too extravagant. This is just meant to be like a nice, glamorous type of look. It doesn't need to be over the top. Making sure it matches up to the other side as well. And voila, you have your pageant hair, your pageant waves. Again, you can always recurl some parts that you don't like. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I just wanted to say a huge thank you to everyone for watching. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe and comment what your thoughts are. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully this video was a bit more better than the last one and we can actually have sound in this one. But yeah, make sure to follow my other socials as well and keep up to date with all my pageant stuff that is happening. Again, thank you so much and I'll see you next time. Bye!